Hello guys. Hello. I welcome you guys in this life. I really welcome you, and please guys, if you have been subscribed, please try to subscribe, good people. If you have been subscribed, please try to subscribe so that we can push as much as we can as I'm preparing you for your history. As I'm about to prepare you for your history, guys. Yes, Tando, how are you? How are you, Tando? I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing well. Let us try to push, good people. Let us try to push. We are almost done. This is the last kick of the day. We are almost done with. I just believe that when January comes on the 19th January, when we are receiving our results, we're gonna be very happy. We're gonna be very happy, guys. We're really gonna be very happy. I'm not going to be long. Here today just to give you, yes, Candice, welcome. You are welcome. I will be here just to give you the two essays, which is Road to Democracy and the Black Consciousness, which guys, they contain 50 marks per essay. It's 50 marks, and I want from you, after teaching on this live, there's videos. I was doing these essays, both of the essay, Black Power Movement. I mean, not Black Power Movement. I mean to say Road to Black Consciousness. Your result will be released next year, 19 April. I mean 19 January. Sorry, 19 January. You are going to receive your results next year. Do we understand? So next year, midnight, 19 January, midday, it says 12 a.m. Your result will be out. You'll be checking them on your phones and newspapers. I just hope this network wanna not problem. It's not gonna give me a problem. Let us comment, guys, and hear which S should we. Remember, we have BCM and what Road to Democracy. We have Road to Democracy and Black Consciousness Movement. So let us comment and see which essay do we start with. Let us see which essay do we. Two people already, they are Black Consciousness Movement. Okay, someone is saying, I am not doing history. I am here to thank you for giving me distinctions on business, paper one and paper two. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I become happy when people are getting distinctions, guys. I really appreciate it. That's what I want. When people passing their examination, becoming happy with their results, I'm also happy. So it makes me happy, guys. It really makes me happy. Okay, guys, the majority of you, remember, we go in a rule of the majority rules. So it seems like you Black Consciousness Movement, because there's only two people who are commenting to what Road to Democracy, but it's fine. There are videos whereby I recorded all of the essays. If you want to subscribe on the channel, you just have to go down and watch the videos whereby I was doing what Road to and what and Black Consciousness. Do we understand? I did all of the essay. If you have subscribed, please, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please try to subscribe. You understand? Just that here I will be giving you on how to answer questions that will be asked, and then also teaching you the essay. So, but where I was teaching the essay, I'm not teaching you on how to answer questions. Do you understand? I'm only teaching you how to write the essay. I hope it makes sense. So if you want Black Consciousness, or if you want Road to Democracy, there's videos where already I recorded. You can go and watch those videos. They are here, and I'll never delete them. They are here, not on the lives, but on the videos that I post. Do we understand? Are we ready, guys? Should we start? I'm gonna start with a black consciousness that we should do a black. Can we start now? Your examination are going very well, ne? I believe that in your examination very well. I'm just praying for this network, Kelvin. I'm just praying for this network that it must not give us a problem. It's the Wi-Fi, guys. I don't know why is it acting like this. I don't know why is it acting like this, because we have to do something that is serious here. We have to do something that is serious, which is going to help you on Thursday final exam. I just hope you can hear me now. Yeah, it's really jealous. It's really jealous. We just have to pray for it, guys. Let us not allow anything that is going to disturb us. Let us not allow anything that is going to disturb us. Okay, guys, what we should know when it comes to the Black Consciousness movement. Remember, guys, in South Africa, back then, they were apartheid, right? We're living under what? The apartheid government. Do we understand? We're living under what? The apartheid government. Or we're living under what? The supremacists. The white supremacists. Do we understand? So now, on the essay, they are teaching us what the consciousness that black people went through in the time of what? Apartheid, or what was happening between blacks and what? On and white. Do we understand? So now, the first thing that we should know is that, guys, black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Do we understand, good people? Black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Do we understand? That's the first point that you must write in your essay. Black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Do we understand, good people? So now, when we talk about Bantu Steve Biko, we are talking about what? The revolutionarist. We are talking about what? The activist. Do we understand? So Bantu Steve Biko formed what? Black consciousness. And then black consciousness, good people, it represented Africanism within African nationalism. I hope it makes sense. We are simply saying now, black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Sorry. Black consciousness was formed by Bantu Steve Biko. Black consciousness represented what? Africanism within African nationalism. I hope it makes sense, good people. Now already we have 2 points in our essay. We already have 2 points in our essay. Black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Black consciousness, it represented Africanism within African nationalism. I hope it makes sense. Bullet point number 3 is that Bantu Steve Biko believed that black people had been living in a psychological chain. Do we understand? That means Bantu Steve Biko believed that black people have been living in a psychological chain. When we talk about a psychological chain, it's whereby people make you believe something that is not true about yourself. Remember, black people back then, they used to believe that they are inferior, white people, they are superior. I hope it makes sense. So that is why Bantu Steve Biko said, no man, black people had been living in a psychological chain of believing that you cannot do anything without a white person. and then a white person can do everything they want to do without black people. Do we understand? That's what is happening in this essay. So we are simply saying that how black consciousness was formed by Bantu Steve Biko, and it represented Africanism within African nationalism. Do we understand? And then black consciousness, it represented what Africanism within African nationalism. And we are saying now, we are now saying that Batu Steve Biko believed that black people had been living in a psychological chain. Do we understand? Mankwe, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Guys, are we all together? Can I see comments to see that we are all together? Are we all moving together? Do we understand? So when you are writing your essay, as a history teacher, I must see that I'm now reading the introduction. This candidate is writing the introduction. You understand? Because you are now introducing what? Bantu Steve Biko. That Bantu Steve Biko formed what? The organization. Number two, Bantu Steve Biko said black Africanism within African nationalism. And then he said black people have been living in a psychological chain. Do we understand, people? So that means Bantu Steve Biko is saying that black people are chained here in their mind. That's what he's saying, that black people are chained here in their mind. They believe that they are nothing without white people. And they also believe that black people cannot do anything without white people. Black people need white people for them to be able to do things. So Bantu Steve Biko took that as what? Being chained in a psychological chain. We are chained here. That's what he was saying. Do we understand, people? And then now we move forward. So Bantu Steve Biko is simply saying that black people are believing themselves to be inferior and white to be what? Superior. Do we understand? That means now black people are believing to be what? Inferior. When we talk about inferior, we are talking about something that has low standard. We are simply talking about something that has what? Low standard. So Bantu Steve Biko is simply saying that black people, they are living in a psychological chain. Why? Because they are believing themselves to be what? Inferior to the white people. And white people, they are what? Superior. Then we move forward. They were ideas. Ideas was about black unity and deeply rooted in the struggle. That means now the ideas, it was all about what? Black people to unite, black people to run together, and they were deeply rooted in the what? In the struggle. When we talk about the struggle, we are talking about those revolutionaries who were fighting against what? The apartheid government, by that apartheid regime. That's a struggle. When you go through a process of fighting some other thing that you don't want, we call it a struggle. When you are toying for electricity, we call it a struggle. You are going through a struggle. You understand? So because of Bantu Steve Biko saw that black people have been living in a psychological chain, and black people, they believe themselves to be inferior to white people. He now did what? He launched attack against apartheid 1960s. That means since from 1960s, Bantu Steve Biko had been fighting what? The apartheid government. He launched the attack against what? The apartheid government. So in your mind, you must ask yourself, why did Bantu Steve Biko launch this attack? Why did he launch the attack? He launched the attack because apartheid was not designed white from blacks, but separate blacks into what? Ethnic. When we talk about ethnic, we are talking about a tribe. That you are a Pedi, you are a Venda, you are not the same thing. Zulu, Tsonga, you are not the same team. Xhosa, Tswana, you are not the same team. Do you understand? That is why Bantu Steve Biko started to launch an attack against what the apartheid government, because he saw that, okay, these people, they are not dividing only whites from blacks. But now, as black people, we tend to fight each other. Do we understand? Now, black people, they are also turning against each other, fighting each other. That's what Bantu Steve Biko was doing. Do we understand? Yes, those ones who want to text me, you can text me on Facebook, Hectama Vest, and then we can talk. There is no problem. We can talk. Do we understand? So, Bantu Steve Biko launched attack against apartheid since the 1960s. Why? Because of the apartheid was not only designed to separate whites from blacks, but also to separate also to separate blacks into what tribes and linguistic groups, which is what languages, the way they speak. That's okay. You are a Sotho. We are different, we are not the same thing. Do we understand, good people? Then we move forward. Bantu Steve Biko said black need to rally or unite together. That's what Bantu Steve Biko is saying now. That black men need to do what? To unite together. They must unite. That's what Bantu Steve Biko is saying now. We understand, good people. And then now, Bantu Steve Biko, he also said that being black is a deliberation of God's plan in creating black people as black. That means he said now, for you to be black is the deliberation of God to create you as black. That means it's a plan of God for you to be black. There is nothing that you're going to change. That's what Steve Biko said. He said that for you to be black is a deliberation of God's plan to create you being black. That means God did not mistake to make you black. You were supposed to be black. That's what Bantu Steve Biko was saying to the people. Number two, he also said that the black consciousness is an aim of God's plan in creating what? Black people as black. He's now saying that the black consciousness is an aim of God in creating what? Black people as black. Do we understand? He's saying now, okay, fine. Black people are starting to lose confidence in themselves. But this black consciousness is an aim of God to bring black people in their senses. To be black. Do we understand? Bantu Steve Biko, he also said that black people must find pride in themselves. He said black people must find pride in themselves. Number two, he also said that blacks must value their culture and their religion. He said black people must value their culture and their religion. We are done with our introduction now. We are done introducing our essay. So, in order for you to write what I gave you now, you have 10 marks in your essay. Already you have 10 marks in your essay. Do we understand, good people? Guys, what I want from you is you go and pass your examination. You can't fail. You really cannot fail, guys. It's impossible for you to fail, but it's possible for you to pass. You can't fail. Go there and come back with those distinctions. So now we move to the body of the black consciousness, guys. We have to know that it do what it refers to ideas and action started in the 1960s and early 1970s. Do we understand? We must know that black consciousness refers to the ideas and action which started in the 1960s and early 1970s. We must know that, guys, when we talk about black consciousness, it simply refers to the ideas and the actions that happened when in the late 60s and early 70s. I hope it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Now we move forward. The black consciousness aim was to unite black people and fight against apartheid and white supremacy. That's the aim of black consciousness, was to unite black people and fight against apartheid and white supremacy. The aim of black consciousness was to unite and fight against apartheid government and white supremacy. And remember, guys, there is something that I want you to know. Bantu Steve Biko was a student at university, but I'm going to tell you about that one. We are not there. He was a student. That means he was what? A political activist back then in his school at university. Do we understand, good people? So now, this is how it is. The apartheid government, they started to ban what? The ANC. See, they banned the SACP. The apartheid government, they banned the ANC, they banned the PAC, they banned the SACP. And remember, guys, this is a black consciousness. And this essay, it goes to what? To the road of democracy. Do we understand? Do you see now on black consciousness, we are saying they are banning the ANC and the PAC and the SACP. In the road to democracy, they're gonna unban them. You understand? So which is the same thing, but it's divided into two. This one is made black consciousness essay, and then that one is a continuation of black consciousness essay. And then even the source based is the same story, but it's been divided. Do we understand? So now the apartheid government started to ban the ANC, the PAC, and the SACP. SACP party. Do we understand? Then we move forward. The ANC guys and the PAC, black leaders, were imprisoned by the state. That means they were arrested by what? The apartheid government. The ANC and the PAC, black leaders, were imprisoned by the state. Some of them, guys, they fled where? To exile. That means they went to exile. Some of them to exile. Do we understand? Some of them, they were arrested. And what was happening in the country is that the South Africa's economy grew and benefited white only in South Africa. That means the economy of South Africa was growing, but it was only benefiting what? White people only. It only benefited. I hope understanding. I hope we are understanding, guys. The South African economy was growing and it was only benefiting what? White people. And black people were suffering. Black people were suffering. These are the things that you will be writing in your essay. Black people were suffering. I hope it makes sense. And then because of black people were suffering, Bantu Steve Biko started to fight against the white government or apartheid government. He saw that, no man, our economy is growing each and every day. Our economy is growing each and every hour. But black people are suffering. And this economy is only benefiting white people. So now I have to fight against this apartheid government. I have to fight against this white government. Understand? So Bantu Steve Biko and his students, which was his friends or colleagues at the university, they were learning a political ideas that was experienced by many black intellectuals. They started to learn political ideas. When we talk about the political ideas, some other politicians, they use what? Emotional blackmail. You understand? Like there are those struggle songs that have been sang all over the world. You understand? So they started to use those political ideas that was experienced by many black intellectuals. Do we understand? Then number two, they learned to use the emotional power. They learned to use what? The emotional power. You must make people that you are fighting to feel emotion, to see that these people are emotional, to understand, to see that these people are feeling a pain. They started to use what? The emotional power. Who? Bantu Steve Biko and his friends or colleagues. Do we understand? And what they were using, these ideas and slogan, filtered down to the social underprivileged people, which is what Bantu Steve Biko was using at the university. It filtered down to what? Underprivileged people who are angry and impatient, and they wanted the action. Do we understand? These people, they were angry and impatient, and they wanted what? They wanted the action. That means they wanted to fight. And guys, the black consciousness started amongst the black students. The black consciousness started amongst what? The black students. And beginning with those who are at the head university. Beginning with those who are at where? Fort Hare University. Later in Durban, what? A medical school, which is what? Natal University. So that means black consciousness started at school, at the university. Then they were what? Bourgeoisie classes by then. They were bourgeoisie classes. Then we now move forward. We have to know the formation of SASO. Who formed SASO? We have to know the formation of SASO and the black people conviction. The formation of SASO and what? And the black people conviction. Number one, the black students, for many years, they were trying to make a progress. The black students, for many years, they were trying to make what? A progress in multiracial political organization, NUSAS. Remember, I said now I want to tell you about the formation of SASO. So now, before we talk about the formation of SASO, black students, they were in what? An organization called what? NUSAS, and it was a multiracial political organization. Do we understand? But because of, and they tried to make progress for so many years, fighting what? The apartheid, where in the NUSAS, which is what? Multiracial organization. Black people are trying to make what? A progress where under the multiracial political organization, that is young liberal white, they try to protect the political activists, which are what? Black students from the government counter by speaking out for them. That means they were those white people who were speaking for who? For those young political activists. From who? They were speaking to who? To the government or the white government or the apartheid government. Understand? But they were failing. They were failing. Young liberal white, they were trying to protect the political activists, which are what are the black students from the government counter by speaking out for them. Just imagine, you are a human being, I'm also a human being. How come you cannot speak for yourself? Because at the end equal, but you wanted to wait for someone else to speak for you. Do we understand what was happening? That is why they were fighting for progress for so many years. So what happened? Bantu Steve Biko felt that no, people are not playing a prominent role as white. That because so that no man, this thing of white people to speak for us, that means as black we are not playing a prominent role as white people. He wanted to be active. He wanted to speak for himself. He didn't want any white person to speak for him. Do we understand? In the 1967, I started this essay, I said it focuses around early 1960s and early 1970s. Do we understand? When you go to Facebook and search Hector Vest, you are going to get me, Hector Vest. If you cannot find me, go through the channel of my YouTube. There is where they've written description. You press there, you will find the link. I put it everything. There is a link of my Facebook. There is a link of my Instagram. There is a link of other social media platforms. Do we understand, good people? In the 1967 to 1968, Bantu Steve Biko, he was a medical student at University of Natal. He was a medical student at where? University of Natal. And when he was a medical student at Natal, what did he realize? He was one of the students who began to analyze and criticize the unhealthy political system in the country. You saw that, no, man. This political system is healthy. Do we understand, good people? He was one of the students who began to analyze and criticize the unhealthy political situation in the country. He's one of the students who started to criticize and analyze the unhealthiness of the political situation in the country. Do we understand, good people? That's your black consciousness essay. For you to give what I'm giving you in your exam, definitely you are going to pass your exam with distinctions, not only just passing. Not only just passing, but passing with high marks. Do we understand? And then at the Natal University Medical School for Blacks, Biko was elected to the Student Representative Council, which is what Steve Biko was elected an SRC, as an SRC, which is what Representative Council. Do we understand? Then he attended a conference of students which were not happy about the government. After being elected as an SRC, he now attended the conference of students which were not happy about what the apartheid government. And then Biko, he rejected the notion that whites could play a role in the liberation of blacks now. He's there. He's now disagreeing. People cannot speak for us. We must speak for ourselves. That's what Bantu Steve Biko is saying in the. He was elected as an SRC. Then he attended the after the elections of the SRC. Then he's now rejecting the notion that white people must play a role of liberating black people. Does that make sense? I believe that you are enjoying the essay. Okay, let us move forward. Then Bantu Steve Biko felt that blacks need to learn to speak for themselves. He said, no, man. As black people, you need to learn to speak for themselves, for yourself. And Bantu Steve Biko, he also said that Bantu Steve Biko felt that NUSAS was not militant enough. He is now, Bantu Steve Biko, saying that NUSAS was not militant enough. Remember, NUSAS, it was what? A multiracial organization that was dominated by white people. Do we understand? Then we move now to the formation of SASO in 1969. Let us hear how was the SASO formed, because now he's now Steve NUSAS was not militant enough. So now there's what? The formation of SASO in where? In 1969. The black students, they formed the Black Only Student Union. They formed the Black Only Student Union in 1969. Bantu Steve Biko was elected as a president. He was elected as a president. Do we understand? Of what? Of the organization called what? SASO. Number 3, SASO made it clear that they support the philosophy. They made it clear that we are supporting the philosophy of the black consciousness. Do we understand? And then it spread it to many black universities of Fort Head and what? University of Zulu. Guys, I want to repeat this thing for the last time. Ne? If you have been subscribed on the channel, you are not going to be able to find the videos that I've already recorded. I did Road to Democracy. If ever you can subscribe on the channel, then you go and search for the videos. Just go through my channel. I don't have a lot of videos. I think I have 70 something videos. You just go there and look which video are you looking for. You are going to get it, and you are going to get distinctions. Let us subscribe. Subscribing, guys, is very important for you. You understand? It's going to be very important for you guys. Please let us try to subscribe. And then let us move now. I said SASO made it clear that they support the philosophy of black consciousness. And then number two, they did what? The BCM, it spread to many black universities of the north, which is what? Fort Hare was one university, and then University of Zulu was one of the university. Then there was what now? This thing, guys, these ideas, they are now doing what? They are now moving to the community. So now we have to talk about what? The mobilization of blacks. Let us hear the mobilization of black people. Bantu Steve Biko installed blacks with the sense of pride. Bantu Steve Biko, he installed blacks with the sense of pride. That means the sense of pride came back in their mind. Remember, Bantu Steve Biko is saying that people had been living in a psychological chain. So now he's installing the sense of pride to who? Black people. Do we understand? Then blacks, they started to do what? Accept themselves and have self-confidence and self-reliance. They started to accept themselves that I am black and I'm not going to change. Do we understand? They started to accept themselves and have self-confidence and self-reliance. Black people started now to reject the spirit of self-pity. Black people, they are now starting to do what? Reject the spirit of what? Of the self-pity. Do we understand? And then the government responds to the black consciousness movement. At first, it was positive. Why it was positive? Because the government thought that the black consciousness movement was a policy of separate development. They thought they want to separate. You understand? We are separating with each other. Do you understand? But when it became clear that black consciousness was strong against the apartheid government, the government expelled students who are the members of SASO from the university. Do we understand, good people? Guys, this thing is very interesting. Let us go there and excel. Let us just go there and excel. Let us go there and excel. This is what? The mobilization of blacks. Let me repeat. Blacks. We are saying that Bantu Steve Biko managed to install the blacks with the sense of pride. Number two, we are saying that blacks people started to accept themselves and have self-confidence and self-reliance. Number three, black people rejected the spirit of self-pity. Number four, the government response to the black consciousness movement. At first, it was positive. Why? Because they thought black consciousness movement was a policy of separate development. They didn't know that the black consciousness movement was strongly against the apartheid government. Do we understand? So, but when it came clear that black consciousness movement was strongly against apartheid government, the government started to expel students who are from the university. They are now expelling the students who are the members of SASO from the university. Does that make sense, good people? Does that make sense? We're almost done with this essay. It's not long, and it's 50 marks. It's not long, it's 50 marks. It's not long, and it's 50 marks, guys. We are almost done. We are almost done. Do we understand? So now, after expelling these students who are the members of SASO from the university, what happened now? They started to harass. They started to harass the SASO and the black people convention, which is what BPC leaders. They started to harass them. They were harassed. If you are not in grade 12, subscribe, because you are going to need this channel when you get to grade 12. You need it. Do we understand, good people? So now, what we should know in history essay, we are not talking about any paragraph that you should include. What important is you to give us the story with the chronological of event. That's important. Even though you can write 16 pages, that's also fine. If you're in grade 9, subscribe on the channel so that when you get to grade 12, you will be able to receive the notification about the lessons. And even in grade 9, I'm going to teach it. It's all about the matter of time. Grade 10, 11, I'm going to teach all of those subjects. Just that it's just the matter of time. Do we understand, good people? So now, they harassed SASO and what? Black people conviction. Do we understand? And then Biko was banned in 1973. Bantu Steve Biko was banned in 1973, and he had to his home in Kings Williams town. Do you understand? He was banned from the university, and he had to be where? In his home at King Williams. That is the reason why King Williams town became a stronghold of what? Of black consciousness. Remember now, guys, they are banning him from school. Now has King Williams, and when he gets there, the King William becomes the stronghold of what? Of the black consciousness. Do we understand, good people? Then that is the reason why King William's town became a stronghold of what? Of the black consciousness, because of he was banned and he decided to went there. Do we understand? Then we move forward. After Bantu Steve Biko was banned, there was an expulsion of Thiro at the University of the North. That they are now starting to do what? Expel who? Thiro at the University of the North. We understand. And the same year, Thiro went to exile. And Musiwa Likota became what? The organizer of what? Of the SASO in his place. Do we understand? Do we understand, good people? I'm saying Thiro went to exile. Musiwa Likota became organizer of what? Of SASO in his place. Do we understand? In 1974, Likota organized a celebration of Mozambique independence in Durban. He was arrested and imprisoned on or at Robben Island. He celebrated the independence of what? Of Mozambique. He was what? Arrested and he was imprisoned where? At Robben Island. Then let us see now the mobilization of students. We are now moving now to 1976 with the popular history that is North Africa. The mobilization of students is whereby Bantu education was introduced. Then they said all school must learn Afrikaans in 1976. Just imagine, you go to school tomorrow and then they say the paper that you're going to write. You have never done Afrikaans, but they are saying that, let's say nothing in the morning, or you are wearing, or you are eating. While watching TV, you see them addressing that the paper that you're going to write today, it's going to be Afrikaans. Do we understand? That's what happened in 1976. So Bantu education was introduced. They said all schools must learn Afrikaans in 1976. Do we understand, good people? And then SASO influenced the formation of Soweto Students Representative Council. Do we understand, good people? SASO influenced what? The formation of Soweto Student Representative Council. Do we understand? And then both the black teachers, the students rejected Afrikaans as a language of what? Of the oppressor. They started to reject Afrikaans as the language of what? Of oppressor. Do we understand? Who? The teachers and the learners. You understand? The departmental secular of Afrikaans was a trigger what to the Soweto uprising. That means the departmental of what the secular of the was the trigger to what the Soweto uprising. Remember, when we talk about the Soweto uprising, we are talking about the strike that was happening in 1976. Do we understand, good people? The strike that was happening in 1976. Do we understand, guys? So now, let us move forward. The black consciousness became more outspoken. Became what? More outspoken, guys. Do we understand? It became more outspoken. What did become more outspoken is what? Is the black consciousness. Do we understand, good people? The black consciousness became more outspoken. And then the school also became what? Politicians. That means the schools became what? Politicians. Do we understand, good people? The school became what? A place of politics. Do we understand? And high school youth organization became what? The Nazareth for what? For the revolt. Do we understand, guys? I hope we are winning. Remember, guys, this black consciousness started from where? From the university. It flitted to where? It flitted to black people. When it flitted to black people, it went where? To school. When it comes to high school, it's now going to where? To the community. So let us see what's gonna happen with the community. Do we understand? Do we understand, good people? So now we have to know the mobilization through community programs. Do we understand? We have to know the mobilization through community programs. What happened in the mobilization through what? The community programs. Steve Biko and Mampela Rampela were banned. Do we understand? They were banned. Steve Biko and Mampela Rampela, they were banned because they are banned, both of them. BCM decided to embark on what? On the black community program. Because of Mampela Rampela and Bantu Steve Biko, they were banned. They started to do what? They started to embark on what? On the black community programs, which is now Mampela Rampela. She was a medical doctor. Do we understand? Mampela Rampela, she was a medical doctor. She came with leadership workshop. Do we understand? She came with leadership skills workshop. Do we understand, good people? So now in 1975, she established Zenom Community Health Clinic. It became most successful project. It became the most successful project. I hope it makes sense, guys. And then the clinic was used as a venue the what? For the BCM leadership workshop. Do we understand? Guys, you are getting your mark in your final examination. You are just excelling just like that. Just go there and provide the information that I'm giving you. And January, you are going to thank me when your results are coming out. And you will remember me. You are going to remember me. Then let us move forward. The black consciousness. And then 16 June, the birth of what? Of a new generation in 1976. Do we understand? We have to talk about what? The black consciousness and the 16 June, the birth of what? A new generation in 1976. What happened, guys, in 1976? The consciousness philosophy gained more support in secondary schools. Do we understand? It gained more support in the secondary schools. Why? Did it gain more support in the secondary school? Because of this Afrikaners revival of learning African history. Do we understand? And it made a deep impression on many universities and high schools. Do we understand? So Black consciousness, it became the Black consciousness philosophy gained most of its support in the secondary schools. Why? Because in the secondary schools, they introduced, what did they introduce? They introduced the African. Do we understand? So that is why a lot of students in the high school, they started to support what? The Black consciousness philosophy. Do we understand? And the Afrikaners, a revival of African history chanted around themselves like African civilization and Black people historical achievement. Do we understand, good people? And then the BCN was on many university and high school students. Do we understand? And then the rejection of what? Of Africans as a medium of instruction became strong time. Became what? The strong time. I hope we understand. And then when we move now, Black consciousness philosophy was transforming way young people thought and think. That means the Black consciousness philosophy was transforming the way you think. Do we understand? Because remember, a lot of Black people believed that they are inferior, white people are superior. You understand? So the Black consciousness philosophy was transforming how young Black people were thinking. Do we understand, good people? And it boosted their self-esteem. It boosted the self-esteem of what? Of young Black people. Do we understand? And then Afrikaner added the language problem, cause the inferiority. That means for the Afrikaner to add the Africans, it caused what? It caused the inferiority in where? In Black people. Because Black people, they end up feeling that they are inferior and they were failing in high numbers. Do we understand? And the kids were failing exams in thousands. Because of the Africans. Kids were failing what? Exams in thousands. Because of what? Of the Africans. Do we understand? The impact of SASO on school led to what? The formation of the South African student movement, which is what? SASM. And according to the Mona Badela interviewed by Mfuso in January 1988, the students saw Africans as what? As the means. The students saw Africans as a means. Oh, God. So I hope we are getting the essay, guys. I really hope we are getting what is happening in the essay, because now we have to move forward whereby we are now about to conclude the essay. Do we understand, good people? We now have to conclude the essay. We now have to conclude the essay. Because what it is important now, I did teach this essay in my previous videos. And we will do the road to democracy tomorrow. We're going to do the road to democracy tomorrow. But what I want from you now, I want you to write the questions, if you do have the questions there. If you have questions about the Black consciousness movement, let us write the questions from the previous videos. Do we understand, guys? from the previous videos. From the previous videos, good people. Can I see comments? Can I see the questions of the question papers? Can you please write the questions of the question papers so that I can tell you what's happening? Those who are busy commenting on my cut, I did this cut on my own. It's best because I can use the machine on my own. I did it on my own. I put a die on my own, so it's fine. You must come here. I will teach you how to do hair. Can I have questions, guys, about the essay? Can I have questions? Yeah, I used the machine on my own using a mirror, looking at myself and doing it on my own. So it's best because I can do something, unlike always going to the barber. Can I see the questions about this essay? Because I want to teach you how to write the line of argument, to take a stand and so forth and so on, so that we can move forward. Okay, here's the first question. Here's the first question. The first question says, explain to what extent the BCM philosophy influenced students, communities, and workers to challenge the apartheid in South Africa in 1960s and 1970s. Very good. To a greater extent, because the Black consciousness movement managed to influence the philosophy of students in a positive way, whereby they ended accepting themselves. They had pride. It installed the sense of what? It installed the sense of pride. You understand? And then students, they managed to reject the spirit of self-pity, because Black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. Black consciousness, it represented Africanism within African nationalism. Do we understand? And then Bantu Steve Biko believed that Black people had been living in a psychological chain. Do we understand? Because Black people were believing themselves to be inferior to white people. And then you write the statement again the way it is when you end your paragraph. Don't forget that one, good people. You write the statement again the way it is. Do we understand? Do we understand, good people? Are we understanding? Always, when you link your essay, you must write the statement. Even in your conclusion, you write the statement, and then you prove that what you are talking about is it true. And then here's another question. They say the philosophy of Black consciousness influenced Black South Africans to challenge the apartheid regime in 1970s. Do you agree with the above statement? You say yes. I do agree with the statement that says the philosophy of Black consciousness influenced Black South Africans to challenge the apartheid regime in 1970s, because Black consciousness was formed by who? Bantu Steve Biko. It represented Africanism within African nationalism. Bantu Steve Biko believed that black people had been living in a psychological chain, believing themselves to be inferior to the white people. Ideas about what black unit and deeply rooted in the struggle. And then you say now, the philosophy of black consciousness influenced the black South Africans to challenge the apartheid regime in 1970s. Then you move to another paragraph. You continue with your essay. Bantu Steve Biko launched attack against the apartheid since the 1960s, to be understand. Because apartheid was not designed to separate whites from blacks, but also to separate blacks through what languages and tribes. Yes, even in the end of your essay, you write the subtopic or the statement. You write the statement, then after writing the statement, you can write maybe one sentence proving that what you are telling us is it true. You understand? Whereby you will say, black consciousness managed to install the pride of black people. You understand? Even though you can read that one, it's fine. And then, is it necessary to have a background paragraph putting the essay in context? Say, yes, it is important to have a background information. The essay that I gave you, it includes everything. It has introduction, it has information, I mean, it has background, it has conclusion, it has body, it has everything. So if ever you can write this essay, it's fine. I included background, I included the introduction, I included the body, I included the conclusion. Do we understand, good people? I hope we understand. Let us go and excel, guys. Let us go and pass our examination with distinctions. We can't afford the number of students to fail. We cannot afford the number of students to fail. We need students which are going to pass. We need students which are going to pass. Please, guys, please, make sure to write 2 essays and 1 source-based. On that one, I really beg you. Please, 2 essays and 1 source-based. I beg you, guys. On that one, do it. 2 essays and 1 source-based. You would never go wrong. I'm going to explain the other essay tomorrow, same time, same place. Road to Democracy, I'm going to explain it tomorrow. Same time, same place. No. I cannot make the introduction. I can't. Of Cold War. Right now, we are in Cold War. But Cold War is in paper 1. You say you want me to do the introduction of Cold War, watch previous videos. Have you subscribed on the channel? Chabalala, have you subscribed on the channel? Can you please respond? If you have been subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe now so that you can see what you are looking for. It's there. I did all of that thing. The cooperative essay, I didn't do it, but if you need it, you can text me on Facebook. I haven't done it here on my YouTube. There are videos where I was teaching about how to approach the critically discuss essay. When you critically discuss with your essay, it's up to you whether you want to write about greater extent or to a lesser extent, or I do agree with the statement that says. I said that one you are given two options to use. If you were watching my videos, you will see what I'm talking about. If you can go through the videos and watch them, you will see what I'm talking about. Guys, because to be truly speaking, I gave you everything that you need. I gave you everything that you need. Do we understand? So we cannot do as if like I don't know what's happening, but at the end, you have everything that you need on this channel. I did teach everything that is going to show up in your examination. I did give you the information that you need for your examination. Do we understand, good people? Mangaliso, I did talk about that one. If you can rewind the video, go back and you will see what you're asking for. Guys, let us meet tomorrow then, because I can see that they are no longer further questions. Let us meet tomorrow, same time, same place. I will be doing the road class. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.